Right. Okay, there you are. Be good, Google. Okay. All right, now I'm going to start that little intro again. Still working. Good. Okay. Ottawa's Cupcake Lounge takes cupcakes to a whole new level. Think dark Belgian chocolate. I'm going to start again. Deal. Ottawa's Cupcake Lounge takes cupcakes to a whole new level. Think dark Belgian chocolate, Madagascar bourbon vanilla, sweet cream butter, 50 flavors, hand-iced. Husband and wife team and owners of the Cupcake Lounge, Claudia Arizmendi and Bill McGinnis, join me today to talk about pairing their cupcakes with wine. Welcome to you both.
Hi, Natalie. Thank you.
All right. Well, as if that the cupcakes alone weren't enough, and they are, by the way, I've tried them. You're now on to pairing them with wine. We're going to get into that in a minute, but first I wanted to ask you how you developed a passion for cupcakes and baking. Claudia, if I understand, you were born in Mexico, which is the birthplace of both chocolate and vanilla, so perhaps that had an influence, but tell me a bit more about why it is you're so drawn to baking and cupcakes especially.
Well, when I was in Mexico, like many other people, and they bake with their moms. And so I was really young when I started baking. Years went by, I came, had a couple of children, and I decided to raise them. And while I was doing a cupcake cake for one of my children's party 14 years ago, is when everything started. Like people went to the party, they love it. They start asking me if I could do their cakes. It was a little different then. And it was just curiosity. I started exploring different flavors, mixing different ingredients, and everything started 14 years ago.
Wow. And Bill, your role, is it official taster or?
Yes, my role is CTO, which is Chief Tasting Officer.
Excellent.
And, I relish it entirely.
Good job. What a great partnership in all ways. So we are going to dive into this because I'm fascinated. You've suggested some wine pairings today that are probably not what people would expect, i.e. all sweet wines with cupcakes. I'm just going to pull a wine because that's what I know. You're the cupcake experts. I'm going to start with a sparkling wine. What I've got here with me today is Pommery. It's a little pop size. I think it's ideal for cupcakes. It's just too darn cute. Now, of the flavors of cupcakes we have, what would you pair a sparkling wine with, and what sparkling wine do you have as well?
Well, I think the sparkling wines go really well with cupcakes in general, but there's a few that we've looked at. So maple cinnamon would be one, vanilla would be another, and also butterscotch bourbon.
Okay, and why those flavors in particular with sparkling wine, and won't the sparkling wine taste a little bitter with those?
Right. I think with the maple cinnamon, the sparkling wine pulls out the maple. Doesn't seem to be bitter at all.
Okay.
With the vanilla, there's just a nice balance between the two. There's not a real conflict there. And butterscotch bourbon is one of my favorite cupcakes. It goes well with anything.
That sounds great. So we'll do a little nibble so we don't have too much dead air time here, but I'm dying to try this. You've got the cinnamon one. I think that's the cinnamon one, right?
That is the maple cinnamon, yes.
Maple cinnamon. It's very Canadian, especially when we've got Canada Day coming up. But have you got a wine there? Which sparkling wine did you choose, by the way?
So we have the Trius Brut, VQA.
All Canadian. Very good.
All Canadian.
Canadian is good.
That's good. Okay. I just try this.
So let's.
Gotta be. Oh, you're right. It's the cinnamon, which is obviously baking spice, that is working with the wine, and it doesn't taste too sweet. The cupcake versus the wine.
Okay.
I like that. That is really good. Wow. And then the vanilla, what's working there with sparkling wine? Is it just the vanilla flavor goes well?
That's a great question. We use classic Madagascar bourbon vanilla in the cupcake, so we're always very careful to do that. There's a vanilla bean frosting. So I don't know. It's just it really works. It's hard to describe why,
right.
But it seems to work quite well.
And well,
So vanilla is such a wonderful flavor, and especially when you're using a high-quality vanilla, I think it makes a difference.
And is this the one? Sorry, is that the cupcake?
that is the bourbon scotch.
Oh, I'm glad you recognize them.
That's the one. Yes.
That's the one. Okay.
That's the vanilla, exactly.
And the nice thing is, like you said, we are not an expert for sure. It's just one evening we got together, we got a couple of bottles of wine, and that was our appetizer. So they served with wine, and we just start cutting a little bit of each of them and tasting all of them. We just kind of thought, okay, this goes well with this, and this was probably for you or for other people. It's just to try out and see.
Absolutely. And you, we were talking earlier, Claudia, and you had an idea of like you could cut the cupcake in four if you wanted to make sort of hors d'oeuvres of it, because you were talking about appetizers before the meal, not for dessert, and doing this sort of little mix and match tasting idea, which would be fun.
For sure. And that is many people come and say, well, why cupcakes and no cakes, for example? Well, we start making cakes because some people just like the cake. And when I say to my client is like, you have somebody for dinner and everybody bring a bottle of wine, or you have a couple of different reds and whites and sparkling. And it's just to have the opportunity, to give your guests the opportunity to try a little bit. So it's really fun to have 6 different flavors, cut them in pieces, and just try them out, because you don't have one whole flavor.
Right.
You can share and have different ones for sure.
That makes sense. That's what we do in the wine world too. We have flights of wine, like when you want to pair by course, and just have, if you're a true hedonist or someone who loves experience and taste experience, you want to try lots of different things. So I know when I go to a restaurant, I don't always like to commit to one bottle. Well, especially if I'm alone. No, I wouldn't drink a whole bottle. But, you like to have different glasses of wine. One thing I thought about is maybe the vanilla works with the sparkling wine, or anything with just a touch of oak on it, because oak aging in wine will impart a vanilla flavor. So there may be something going on there. Who knows?
Exactly. That's entirely possible. So I understand I'm not a wine expert by any stretch, but American oak has a bit of a vanilla flavor to it.
Vanilla or coconut, those are all flavors that would dovetail together. And I would suggest, if you propose a theory and say it with conviction, it will be accepted.
Okay.
So, okay, let's move on to a Moscato, which is what I would expect to have as a pairing, because Moscato, wildly popular category in the liquor store these days. It's got a bit of sweetness, a bit of grapiness or floral notes. It's a pretty wine. It's a light wine. And I've got Jacob's Creek. It's a nice value-priced Moscato. Which Moscato do you folks have?
So we have the Battaciolo Moscato d'Asti, which
from Italy.
From Italy, exactly.
Okay, and which cupcake are we thinking?
Carrot cake.
Oh, I love carrot cake. Let's see, which one is that one? I'm trying to recognize them here. Okay, so the carrot cake has the silver on top?
Great. Claudia?
Yes.
It's got does it have the pecan?
It is it's a walnut.
It's
a walnut.
It's a walnut. So it
Okay.
looks like this.
Yes, it's a walnut and pineapple.
Okay.
Some spices for sure, cinnamon and carrot.
Okay, and why do you think this one in particular goes with Moscato, the carrot flavor?
That's a great question. I think the Moscato has a soft, sweet taste.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's fruity and grapey. And I think just the way the carrot cake is put together, just some of the different ingredients that we use. So not so much the walnuts, but maybe more the pineapple, I think makes a good combination.
Cinnamon?
Also
Spices?
cinnamon. Sure.
Cinnamon, yeah. Those spices really do bring it together. Because they're balancing the sweetness. They're giving that savory, or however you might describe it, and really working with the wine.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah. Let's try it.
So we're going to try some cupcake, Natalie.
Okay.
Hopefully this doesn't get too messy.
Yes, okay. Well, we have to be thorough with our research. This is a lot of
Absolutely.
fun. Oh my goodness. This would be really fun to divide this up among people and just be passing around, having different glasses and different slices of cupcake.
It is.
Mm.
It is really nice.
Mhm.
Oh, these are very good. Mm.
Isn't it? Let's see.
And and the Moscato just has that, as you said, touch of sweetness. Very nice. What I'm liking is both with the sparkling wine and the Moscato, your cupcakes are not making them taste bitter. They're really working. Moscato also can have a little bit of effervescence or spritz, which is a nice palate cleanser for that thick icing that you guys put on the top of these
Exactly.
cupcakes. Okay, especially if you're a person who likes to lick off all the icing first, right?
Yes.
Anyway, okay. All right, so that's a great pairing for that. Let's see. Before we move into the red ports, I've got a Riesling. Now, what would you pair with Riesling? I've got by the way, it's a terrific Niagara Riesling from Reef Estate. Pretty dry. So what might you put with that, cupcake-wise?
Right. Again, you might want to try something like the maple cinnamon.
Okay.
So definitely, it does the Riesling. Like if it's a sparkling wine or a Riesling, it tends to pull out the maple in that cupcake.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's and this one has kind of lemon and it almost
Lemon? So we can have lemon coconut, ginger lemon. I don't know if they will go with that, but there is some flavors. So
I'm starting to smell icing on these. It's the power of suggestion.
Exactly.
Okay, and all right, so why don't we pause here and come back again to talk about some of the more robust red wines, dry red wines that you've chosen for some of the more robustly flavored cupcakes. I really appreciate your time today. This has been a great chat, and we will come back again because we haven't even touched chocolate yet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, that's great. All right, so then I'll just cut this little bit. Is that all right? Everything so far?
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. That's great.
Okay.
It is a little bit messy, but I think
I
we
know.
can live with it.
My hands are so
I
sticky.
know, sticky. Suggestion the strawberry champagne, and I forgot about it with the sparkling wine. It's great.
Okay. No worries. So when we come back, I've got Pinot Noir, I've got Port, you've got Shiraz. Is there one you'd like to start with? I guess we should save Port till the end.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So what we're going to do, the port goes with, let's just have a look here.
Pinot Noir,
Yeah, the port goes with the chocolate, because we want to match sweetness levels.
That's the Guinness chocolate, right?
That is the Guinness chocolate, yes.
Yeah. And then the Pinot Noir is with which one?
That's with the red velvet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I've got them lined up then. All right. Are you?
The Molly Baker. I think, are we going to do that? I think we're going to do that because that's a Shiraz,
Yes, perfect.
right? Okay.
Okay.
So I think your idea about the whole dinner party thing, I mean, that's what we found to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So
That would be fun. I think people would really like that. And I
Yes.
love the whole reversal at the beginning of the meal.
Some of our friends still see us and say, let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
That is great. Yes,
Because then you don't have to eat a whole cupcake. You can have so many different flavors,
absolutely.
which is fun. Okay, so we're still recording right now, but I'll chop all that out.
no,
So-
that's fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to say a really quicker intro this time, and we're back kind of thing with Claudia and Bill. All right, so I think I'll start with the Pinot Noir, red velvet, and then we can go to the Shiraz.
Oh, just one thing. I
Okay.
think we're going to have to line up our glasses here
Okay.
if we're going to start out with the Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure, no worries. Just glad we're still recording.
I know, yes.
Pretty
Okay, here we go.
Alrighty. Okay, here we go. And we are back with Claudia Arizmendi and Bill McGinnis, owners of Ottawa's Cupcake Lounge. We are deep into the pairing of wine and cupcakes, having a lot of fun with it, and we are about to move into the red wine. So, folks, I have a Pinot Noir from Niagara here, Flat Rock Pinot Noir. Love it. It's juicy. It's got lots of berry fruit. Which cupcake would you put with this one?
I would definitely choose the red velvet.
Ah, okay. Red velvet is a classic cupcake. Maybe you can just describe it a little bit as to how it's made. Or it's chocolate on the bottom?
It is a reddish with like a hint of chocolate flavor. It is red chocolate flavor in the center. So this is the only one that we have red color, unfortunately. We are trying and testing natural red color this week, and hopefully it will work because we are trying beets, we are trying raspberries, everything that you can imagine that is deep red, and as soon as we bake it, it changes the color. So it is real red color into it, and cocoa powder.
You're on the right track, though. Raspberries, cherries, those are signature flavors, especially in New World Pinot Noir. But it's interesting that you've chosen the cupcake with a bit of a red tinge as opposed to diving into the deep end with chocolate and Pinot Noir. So, what do you have a Pinot Noir there as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have the Mirassou Winery Pinot Noir from California.
That's another good one. And lots of berry fruit. Do you think a cupcake needs a New World Pinot Noir as opposed to like Burgundy or a drier Pinot Noir from the Old World?
That's a great question. I really don't know the answer to that question. Certainly, the whole thing about red velvet, and I'm not an expert on red velvet cupcakes by any stretch, but red velvet comes from the south of the United States, and so I don't know the Mirassou Pinot Noir. It's not too strong. It's very elegant, and I think it's a really nice combination for the red cocoa cake.
Yeah, it has the cherry fruit to carry it, as does the Flat Rock, I find. Again, not a clash, a nice combination. It really surprising. Okay, so you folks have a full-bodied Shiraz. What would you pair that with? It's the you tell us which one it is that you've chosen.
Well, the one that we have is Molly Duker, the Boxer Shiraz. I'll just show you the bottle.
That's always a fun label from Australia.
Yes.
Correct, exactly. So this is a delicious Shiraz. We like it very much, and we found that it goes with the Guinness beer cupcake. Basically, yeah, it's strong, but it's not too sweet. The Guinness cupcake, and it's a good combination.
And the other thing about the Molly Duker, they're kind of famous for high alcohol. So you're bordering almost on a port, well, not quite, a port level alcohol, but they get up into 15, 16%, which actually does help when you're talking about richer foods that veer toward the dessert side of things. So that may be helping you as well with that match.
Yes.
Well, Natalie, I'm also pleased to report that cupcakes have an absorbency factor, which does help out when you are drinking wine.
An absorbency. Does it keep going? No. Yeah, no, okay. That would make sense to me. And the rich, because Shiraz does have darker, blacker fruit, fleshier flavors. So
exactly.
That works. All right. So now we are into, I think it's port. I think we've got port now, which was where I would start with cupcakes, but where we are going to finish off with. Port, of course, is the dessert wine, fortified, sweet, rich, dark, can handle the most sweetest of desserts. I've got the Taylor Fladgate. Which do you have?
We have the Sandeman port.
Okay.
So this is from Portugal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And we found that essentially this particular port matched the sweetness level of the chocolate, so it's a dark Belgian chocolate. Very rich.
Yeah, you have to go that way, I think, with this is my favorite cupcake.
I know, isn't that nice, The chocolate.
Killing me softly with chocolate. It's so rich and decadent, but so beautifully made. That's got to be a match made.
Yes, for sure.
And would you go anywhere else with the double chocolate cupcake, or would you stick with port pretty much?
You know that I find with the red wine is really nice too. So I think it's personal choices. I
Right.
think we can extend to other levels. We tried chocolate in the south of Ontario last summer with the sparkly wine. We tried with the red wine, white wine, and what about the other port?
The
Right.
port as well.
Yeah, so it was amazing with the
Ice
four.
wine.
Mhm.
Ice wine.
Ice wine. It worked with ice wine.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. The other match that I've seen with dark chocolate is Amarone, the really robust Italian red, or other really big reds that have both the alcohol and the aromatic or fruit heft to them to handle that.
Mm.
Well, that's terrific. Is there any sort of overall guideline that you'd suggest when it comes to cupcakes and wine, or is it more about experimentation? I want to ask that, but also, what has been the absolute best wine and cupcake combination you've ever tasted?
I love the strawberry champagne with champagne. That is amazing for Christmas, New Year's season, and Valentine's Day. Really nice.
So a strawberry champagne cupcake with champagne.
With champagne. And that is whatever champagne, even sparkly wine. So many Spanish ones and French ones that we try, Californian ones, and Canadian. So it is just, like everybody can try and explore their own, and it's just amazing.
Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds decadent and breakfast at Tiffany's or something. And Bill, do you have a favorite one, or one that's most memorable of all you've tried?
Well, actually, there's two. Definitely the Molly Duker Shiraz and the Guinness cupcake, I think, works quite well. And also the chocolate with the Sandeman port, I think, is a really good combination. We tried some Shirazes with the chocolate, and it just didn't work. They were competing with each other, but those two would be my tops.
Wow, that's great. Well, there is lots of food for thought here. I appreciate you folks joining me today. So Claudia Arizmendi and Bill McGinnis, owners of the Cupcake Lounge here in Ottawa. You can sample their cupcakes, and I do recommend trying this sort of tasting party with friends because it's a lot of fun. So thank you both.
You're most welcome, Natalie. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
I'm going to keep going.
I know.
That's great, guys. Really great. Wow.
Well, after trying and trying,
Thanks
so
so
it's
much,
still recording. Yeah.
For hanging on with us.
Sure,
on this. It did take a fair amount just on the scheduling side, but we really appreciate it. So
Yes.
I think you'll be happy with the end result. I shouldn't speak too soon. Fingers crossed, technology gods are with us. What I'll do now is click on the end broadcast so it starts recording over to YouTube, and then I'll email you as soon as I have the first one up. I want to get it up, actually, because we already mentioned Canada Day, at least the first one before the weekend. So.
The Canada Day for
great,
sure.
Great, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, take care, guys.
All right, you too.
Good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.